Today on the show, they're making a Barney movie for adults. That's where we are now in this country.
The U.S. government wants to unleash genetically modified mosquitoes into the air. What could go wrong?
And we help a young wife who is trying to fall back in love with her husband.
All this and more on an all-new episode of the Blimey Cow Podcast. Jordan, I think this is going to be the best podcast episode yet. This week's question is, what would you give up if you had to? Reading books for the rest of your life or listening to music for the rest of your life? So if you had to give up one of those things, which one would you divorce and which one would you keep?
Okay, so people are going to comment.
They're going to comment below and tell us, would you keep reading books or
I feel like
would
this
you
is
keep
an easy.
listening?
This is an easy one.
It always seems like an easy one. Before we get started, we want to say a quick thank you to all of our supporters that support BlimeyCow.com. You guys are amazing and we love you very much. And be sure to go over to the Blimey Cow Chips YouTube channel.
We don't have a chips line yet.
Not a chip line yet. We're not Mr. Beast out
No,
here.
that's what I was
Chocolate bars on the way. No, we've got a clips channel where if you want to just watch this show in smaller segments, we're putting out content every day. Literally every day.
Single day.
YouTube.com/@BlimeyCowClips. Jordan, there's so much that's going to happen in this episode.
Yeah, you're hyping this up, so I am looking forward to it just as much as you guys out there. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, anything could happen.
Anything could happen
Anything
today.
could happen on the podcast.
What's the first thing we're going to talk about? The
Christian meme review.
Oh, yes.
Check this out.
What if I told you that Oreos are actually demonic, and if you eat them, you're supporting Satan? As you can see, the Oreo has the Freemason symbol, the Satanic cross, and the Zodiac wheel all on its cookie surface.
You know what he's doing here? He's making fun of people who are talking about liquid death. 100%.
You think he's making fun of you right now?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I was one of many. But yeah, definitely. This is
a direct reaction?
This is of people talking about liquid death. I'm sure that spread around.
Because of you.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not the first to bring that up. I don't know. But this is, I mean, without a doubt, this is a direct attack on the people who believe that witchcraft in liquid death. And Josh, there's a lot of commenters on our videos who think that this is just outrageous. Okay. That it's such an overblown reaction to the liquid death.
I finally saw liquid death at the grocery store the other day.
Did you pick it up and feel the possession?
I mean, I look, here's the bottom line. I felt the same way that I feel when I walk past the Coca-Cola. Now you tell me what that means.
Interesting concept, Josh. That's an interesting observation.
And I don't normally feel that way around flavored waters, okay? There's something weird about it.
See, maybe
a little aspartame
just dripped in there. That's
the truly satanic stuff.
Atheist is what it is. Mine is just, non-controversial.
Be 1 month, could be 2 months, 3 months, could be 4 months. I can see that happening, yes. 8 months. That's a realistic timeline.
11 months.
My mom.
Perhaps.
Okay, wait, now really think hard about this one. 1 year.
I could see that as a very real possibility.
Jordan, have you ever noticed, I'm sorry to derail this. That is a very funny meme.
Okay.
I want you to watch something here. After he says 11 months.
I saw somebody get up and walk out. Was somebody going to laugh?
Notice this. Do you know why that person walked across the screen like that?
I thought they were going to laugh. So
No.
They left.
No.
Oh, did they cut the shot? Oh.
Anytime you're watching something and somebody awkwardly walks across, and you don't really notice it unless now you're going to notice it all the time. Somebody walks across the screen, they're cutting. They're using the first half of a take and the second half of another take. Always.
Well, but how did they plan that? Did they literally just make a person walk across?
No, they put that in after. They have somebody walking across a green screen.
Oh,
this is one of the oldest tricks in the book.
I got you. That's cool. Wow.
And that was a very funny meme. Thank you for sharing. Video game trivia.
Oh, great.
And it's mostly Nintendo. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I think so.
How many mainline console Mario Party games are there? So not DS, not arcade things, just N64, GameCube, Wii, 8, 10, 12, or 16?
I think there's 8.
Incorrect.
Is it 10?
It's 12.
Really?
There are 12. They numbered them up to 10, and now those 2 Switch ones.
Oh, I actually have Mario Party All-Star, and I have never played it. It's still in the packaging.
Next question. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Wii Sports, Grand Theft Auto 5, Tetris, or Minecraft?
I think that it's Wii Sports. It's either that or Minecraft.
It's Minecraft.
Is it?
I'll
Okay.
give it to you.
Was it Wii Sports and then Minecraft?
No, Wii Sports never eclipsed Tetris. Tetris has sold 100 million copies.
What do you mean? I thought you just play that on your phone now.
Well, yeah, but it was an old Game Boy game.
Oh.
This is kind of surprising. The second best-selling game of all time is Grand Theft Auto 5, the most recent one. Isn't that weird?
Well, not really, because people were desperate during COVID. They just wanted to blast the people, so they did it virtually.
In what year was Nintendo founded, Jordan? 1985, 1975, 1949, or 1889?
Yeah, dude, you're
The meta game begins.
yeah, I know.
Why did he say 1889 unless it's right? Unless he knew I was going to think that.
What was the second option?
1975.
We'll say that one.
Incorrect. It's 1889.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So this was-
They spent 100 years trying to build a video game console before they finally got
So
something
was
that
the
worked.
North or South with Nintendo? Like,
Are you talking about during the Civil War?
Yes. Did they receive?
This was after the Civil War.
Yeah, not much.
This was during Reconstruction.
I know, but-
again, this was in Japan. They were they were a playing card company.
All right.
and
Well,
then-
that hardly counts. What kind of cards did they make? Was it
Playing
Confederate
cards.
or was it Union?
What is the best-selling Nintendo system? Is it the Nintendo DS, the Game Boy, the Switch, or the Nintendo Wii?
Pretty sure it's the Wii.
That is actually incorrect.
Is it the Switch?
It's not.
Is it the Game Boy?
The best-selling system, period, not just Nintendo, is the Nintendo DS.
What?
154 million units before it went out of production. What Nintendo system sold the least? Was it the original?
I know it. It's got to be the Wii U.
It is the Wii U.
Okay.
Very good. You didn't even need the options.
No.
Very good. Yeah, only 13 million units. What is the best-selling game that features Mario? Is it Mario Kart 8/8 Deluxe? Is it Super Mario Brothers? Is it New Super Mario Brothers? Or is it Super Mario Odyssey?
Wait, so you said it was Super Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8/Deluxe.
What's
Mario
the slash deluxe?
Because it came out on Wii U, and then they re-released it as Super Mario 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
We'll go with that one.
That is correct. 62 million units.
Really?
One of the best-selling video games of all time. When Star Fox 64 released in 1997, it originally came bundled with a new accessory that enhanced gameplay. Do you know what it was called? Was it the expansion pack, the RAM pack? Was it the Rumble pack? Or was it the Super pack?
I mean, it's got to be the Rumble Pack.
That is right. It is the
Okay,
Rumble
all
pack.
right.
Very good.
This is the Rumble Pack. It's designed with a force feedback device that lets players feel the game.
Wait a second.
The Rumble Pack was invented for that game? Like that was what
That was the
initiated
first
it?
game. Well, you know, the N64 controller had that slot on the back that you could use for memory cards and stuff.
Right.
The big reason why Star Fox 64 is the coolest cinematic gaming experience there is.
But I
Oh,
guess
but
if
they-
you didn't want to use the memory card, you could slide in the Rumble Pack and that would shake the controller.
That's cool.
You remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Remember you had to put batteries in it? Now, man, dude.
Now we've got, well, LK99.
Hopefully it's still by the time this comes out. This will be your one little hint that this was an evergreen episode for whenever Shiloh was born. This is that thing. Okay,
That's
let's
true.
answer our message.
Yes. Dear Jordan, well, and Josh, I have been married for 5 months and I am longing to be in love again. My husband and I have known each other for a few years, long enough to get over the romantic but idiotic hump of being in love, and we can see each other clearly now. I still think that he is a wonderful person, and it is nice to have a realistic view of each other. Nevertheless, I miss the early infatuation period, during which my husband desperately wanted to spend time with me and talk to me for hours over the phone. He loves me more now than he did then, but I wish that he would want me in my company as much as he did years ago. Guns, fishing, or computer games.
Video games.
Seem more exciting to him than our being together. I have grown quietly resentful about it, and I know that we need to talk about this. Am I foolish for wishing to be in love again? Do I need to be more independent? Sincerely, insert alias here.
They just want to be in love again.
Did she retract her name or did you retract it?
She retracted her name.
She said insert alias. Well, that's your alias.
Guns,
Fishing, video games.
games.
Well, it was specifically, I think it was computer games.
Oh, computer
So
games.
he's really committed. If you're in the computer games route, you're like a real true fan.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I think I have more respect for it.
Yes, he is committed. You know where he stands. He is committed. This is a part of his life.
At least he can build a computer, you know? He's not
Yes.
just like, all right, I'm gonna turn the controller and just play.
That's a good point. Yeah, I actually have more hope and respect for him.
At least there's a job there somewhere, you know?
Yeah, there's a job you can find. I would say, Josh, that things change, but it's not a bad thing to long for the love infatuation. But I think she's not looking for the love and infatuation like she had in the past, because that changes. She's looking to just communicate with the dude again. I think that's the whole problem, is that they're not like talking like they, and she alluded to that. But
Too busy
I think that was the
Guns,
key.
fishing,
Video games. Yeah. I think that's the key, that she needs to figure out, or she just needs to start talking to the guy again.
Yeah. He might just be kind of bored. It might be helpful for her to take an interest in the things he's interested in.
Guns,
Fishing, video
games.
computer games. Here's the thing. This will kind of tip you off. If you say, hey, how about I go fishing? Can I get a rod? Can I get a computer? Can I play, World of Warcraft or
StarCraft, whatever.
StarCraft, whatever you're playing out there. And he is resistant to that, then you know that you've got a separate problem. The separate problem is, no, I just need some me time. And that's where I think the resentment is coming from for her. Now, if she's not willing to take an interest in the things he's interested in,
how can you expect that from him for what you're doing? But she would want that of something that she was be interested in. You would think.
Imagine if he all of a sudden said, hey, can I go do whatever thing you like to do?
Let's go shopping together. Let's go and go to a specific movie that you like to watch.
Oh, the movie thing is okay, but the shopping, that was so sexist.
Well, I was just considering me and Sarah. If like anytime I'm out shopping with her, it's like I'm ready to be done in 20 minutes, and she's like, "We just got here." I'm like,
"We've literally just got here.
We looked at the whole store. We
did an initial perimeter scan."
Yep. And now we're about to go to TJ Maxx after we were just at Ross, the same store. Let's go to Home Goods.
Now that we know what they have,
we know where everything is, and
we
all
can
the
go to
stores.
TJ Maxx and compare prices.
That wasn't sexist. That was my experience. So I'm trying to learn, Josh, how to say it's okay that Sarah likes to shop and compare prices at different places for hours. When I'm done in 20 minutes, I need to learn how to just be like, that's totally fine. At least I'm getting to spend time with her. At least she wants me to be here.
That's right.
Sarah does that for me too. If there's something that I'm interested in, or like I like talking about science stuff. She doesn't know she doesn't really care.
That is so
but she will sit there and she'll listen and ask me a bunch of questions about it, even though I'm like, okay, obviously I know she doesn't really, this doesn't matter to her that much.
We can talk about LK99 after 3 stores. Consider it a challenge. Consider it a game. Can I do something surprising that my husband does not expect? Can I take an interest in something he's interested in, or take him somewhere that he will think is fun? I would not get resentful or feel like this is a lost cause unless you try these things and he still shows no interest.
Yeah,
in which case, then you do have a serious
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Because that is unusual.
Then you do need to talk to him about it and be like, look, what are we doing? What am I doing? What am I doing something wrong? I don't think I am, because I'm the one making an effort.
That's where the confrontation happens. So it's sad.
Is this good news or bad news? Jordan. As you know, it's not about sequels anymore. It's about making revitalized versions of either like toys or kids shows.
Barnes & Noble.
What?
Barnes & Noble. That's all Barnes & Noble is.
That's what they do?
Yeah, it's a store. I want to make some people mad. It's a store for adult children at this point. And Books A Million, they are a little bit too, but they're holding out somewhat.
Okay.
Books A Million is far superior from Barnes & Noble.
So Barnes & Noble, they appeal to the nostalgia?
Yes.
Like in in the display racks and stuff.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
yes, they're trying to bring, when you go into there, you want to feel
Captain
this,
Underpants.
you want to pick it up. They'll do Captain Underpants as an adult.
I read about this a while ago. I've been hanging on to this one.
Okay.
This is the week where we finally talk about
The
it.
evergreen episode.
Yeah. They're making a Barney movie. But it's not for kids.
Okay.
The Barney movie is for adults. This is from the New Yorker. It will be surrealistic.
That's what you're talking about, Barney. They're gonna make it like a existential.
Yes.
What does that mean? How are they gonna do that?
We're leaning into the millennial angst of the property rather than fine-tuning this for kids, he said.
Okay.
It's really a play for adults. Not that it's R-rated, but it'll focus on some of the trials and tribulations of being 30-something, growing up with Barney, just the level of disenchantment within the generation.
So is Barney going to be in the show?
Yeah, it's gonna be. If I had to guess the kind of stupid stuff these people do, what it's gonna be is you're gonna have like this got out of a relationship, or maybe a family member died, somebody's dead, somebody broke up with somebody, and
Barney's gonna come and help them.
Barney's gonna come and help. It's gonna be like the guy or girl is like remembering childhood. But it's gonna be like this: you lied to me. You said I love you. You love me, but nobody loves me.
And then Barney tries to explain what.
And
he
I don't
meant.
have a happy family. They got divorced. They're dead. And Barney has to be like,
Can you imagine?
look at some shapes.
They've got to do something with the cost. They've got to make him look more real, because if he just has the face,
That's what it's gonna be. That's why it's gonna be surrealistic, because it's gonna be literally the costume, the exact costume from the 90s
Seeing
in
it in a
indie
different-
film, like Lady Bird kind of.
You're seeing it in a different light.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be like. That's exactly what the stupid movie's gonna be, and everyone's gonna eat it up. Like, and the reviews are gonna say, it's raw and it's unfiltered and it's exactly what I needed. You're gonna have all these like laptop class journo types saying like, oh man, this I didn't realize this is the movie I needed. Like, they already love it before they even saw it. God help us. As soon as I saw that, I saw the plot in my head, and it made me. It didn't make me mad. I was sick. I was disgusted. I was like, "This is so stupid."
Wow.
You know who I haven't thought about since I was 8 years old?
Baby Bop and Barney and BJ.
Baby Bop and BJ and Barney.
You know who I've thought about since
Who?
Since Selena Gomez, and she was on that show.
What?
Yep, that's how she started. She was a Barney person, Barney kid.
When we the
when
ones we watched?
It. Yeah, it was like right after that. Like, you were probably too old, and I wasn't, but Selena Gomez was on the show.
I saw the original kids. Okay,
I don't remember any of the kids.
Vanessa was one of them. I think there was Min, and there was the little boy who looked like Opie from Andy Griffith.
This is incredible.
But again, I haven't thought about this since I was 8.
Okay.
And you know what? When this podcast is over, I'm never going to think about it again.
I think you have facial recognition if you can remember those children from when you were 3 years old.
I watched the show like 10,000 times. So they made this Barbie movie. Did great. Okay, so now they're just going to make like 1,000 of these. Like every
Ben
toy.
Shapiro loved it. Did you see
What?
he dressed up as a Ken doll and went and saw this? It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at the video. Look at the picture.
I don't want it.
Find it, Josh.
The less
You have to find it.
I don't want to see it. I honestly, there are some
I thought it was a
things-
deep fake, but it wasn't.
I don't care
I just
about
try and break Josh a little bit every day. A little bit more.
I don't want to see it. They're making like an Uno movie, the card game. Uno.
Is this the era that we're in? It's going to be all the nostalgia from Millennials. They're just going to keep going.
I'm going to read you a quote. This is from the writer. She'd set Uno in the Atlanta's hip hop scene, and she said, "The first draft that I sent was very F-word heavy." She recalled sheepishly. An executive flagged every instance of the obscenity in the screenplay. It was something like 50 pages, she said. And then the next draft had one. I got my one well-placed PG-13 F-word.
So that's their goal.
These are the people that are making the
Yeah.
It's like, I just can't. Everybody was a sheltered kid. And
Yeah.
now they're all just, I can't believe I've been tasked with making the Uno card game movie. I'm going to make it say the F word
Yeah.
50 times. Oh, you're censoring me.
What does an Uno movie mean?
Dude,
What does that mean?
I don't know. I
They're-
don't know.
They're gonna be playing Uno?
This is what I hope. I hope that we've reached the end. And now this Hollywood strike,
We'll destroy it.
it's like, this is just the end of it. This is the end of it.
This is their last dying throes, is making the Barney movie and the Uno movie.
I mean, this doesn't really even fit in with good news, bad news, because this was obviously bad news. But maybe it's good news because it's over. Like, this has to be the end,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Josh texted me this week and he said, Jordan, I have come up with the funniest top 10 that you have ever heard in your life. I do not want you to read it beforehand. I want to read it to you on camera to get your reaction. And I said, okay.
This is the top 10 millennial movie ideas based on PBS kids shows. All right, so they're remaking Barney
Yeah.
as an existential crisis movie or whatever.
So now what if they did it with other shows?
What if they did it with other ones? Number 10, Clues Blues. Recovering alcoholic dog Blue tries to solve the murder of his best friend Steve. Millennials in the audience shout out when they find clues on the screen.
I almost don't want you to read these because it's gonna happen. I'm seeing the future. You know what? It all started with the Arthur memes. It all started with the Arthur memes, and now somebody's gonna ruin Arthur by doing this.
This is why you don't like VeggieTales.
Why?
It's for the same reason you don't. You get annoyed with people always bringing up VeggieTales as adults and Arthur and stuff like that. You still like the shows, but
I don't mind if somebody does like an Arthur remake of Arthur as like a teenager or in college, but they're gonna do it wrong.
right.
They will mess it up. I'm the only person, I truly believe this, that can do that, and I have plans.
I do believe that. Number 9, Zoomers. A reboot of Zoom with a Squid Games twist. Gen Z kids all perform TikTok trends until only one of them is still alive.
Dude, it's genius. I'll tell you the ones that I actually want to see.
Okay.
That one is actually, I kind of want to see that. Zoom Clues
Blues.
No, that's not. I can't watch that.
Number 8, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This is just reruns for adults who need a constant reminder that they are special, just the way they are.
That wasn't that I dislike Mr. Rogers. That was please don't tamper with the man.
Here's a good one, Jordan. Number 7, The Boomer Foo. A wisecracking lemur tries to navigate high school while also dealing with his out-of-touch owners, 2 boomer brothers who are mid at best. Number 6, Jill Nurl, the science girl. Sassy girl boss Jill Nurl doesn't need no man. Chemicals aren't the only thing that's toxic, as Jill teaches other girls to care more about STEM.
Is that a movie or is it like a TV show?
These are, you know what? It's a TV show that gets turned into a movie.
okay.
20 years later. Number 5, San Diego. The gritty origin story of Carmen, a misunderstood kleptomaniac from a broken home. Before we find out where in the world she is, she has to figure out who she is.
That's the only one that's a good idea. Because that was the nature of that.
Right. Get ready for some COVID humor, okay?
I don't know.
Ms. Frizzle in Lockdown. A self-aware COVID comedy that follows Miss Frizzle's attempt to teach her class over Zoom while her students slowly realize she really used that bus as a crutch.
It could be the kids are on Zoom and they're slowly, like a science experiment is going on them, and they're slowly one by one getting erased, and then they have to go in and find them and figure out what's going on. And so then, and they can't use the bus, but it's the bus who's doing it. The bus was bad. There you go. That's the twist.
That's a pretty good idea. Number 3, big comfy wheelchair couch.
Big comfy wheelchair couch. All right.
After snapping her spine, Lunette the Clown converts her couch into a wheelchair and tries to raise awareness about the dangers of using your body to tell time.
Oh, I remember, because I remember I was watching that as I was getting older, and so I was like, man, I can't wait until she's on the clock and I'm 10 years old, and she puts her hand like on the 10. For some reason, that was a cool thing in my mind. Like, I'm 9, and then I'm going to be 10. And then at some point, I was still watching the show, and I was way too old, and I was like, I'm 13 now. Like, I'm not even on the,
I missed
I'm
my
not
chance.
even on the clock.
I missed my chance. Number 2, and I'm really risking getting a little dream by saying this, but number 2, Coke Cliff. What's the only thing scarier than a big red dog? A big red dog doing cocaine. It's a dark comedy for the ages as Clifford barks and snorts his way into Emily Elizabeth's heart. Can she tame this gentle giant?
That got too dark. What if it was Clifford and his struggle to, because it's like everyone just accepts Clifford, you know? Everyone just accepts him. He's on the island. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But what if they didn't accept him? And Emily Elizabeth was the only one who accepted him, and everybody shunned him, but he couldn't hide because he's so big. Where is he going to go? He can't. Is he going to go
Into
live in
Emily Elizabeth's heart.
Yeah, but they've got to. So there you go. It would be the story of Clifford as if it were actually real, like the terrifying nature
It's Pete's
of him.
dragon. It's basically Pete's
Yes.
dragon, except for Clifford can't become invisible.
No, he can't become invisible, and so they'd have to figure out how to warm people's hearts to him. It would be a story on prejudice and racism.
There you go. Number 1, Buster got canceled. After he makes a culturally insensitive joke at work, Buster Baxter attempts to get his life and good name back with the help of his wife Francine and her boyfriend Arthur.
Yeah, it's like I think that is a terrible idea, but it's not a movie. That is an episode in a TV show where they're actually trying to ruin Arthur. That's like one of the episodes. That's like episode 4.
Okay.
And the season, dude. I just hope to God that they don't do that. I hope. These were hilarious.
Thank you.
But they were just more disturbing because I saw
you're scared.
exactly the train wreck that's going to happen.
You saw when I saw the headline about Barney. You saw.
I thought it was just going to be a funny movie about Barney, but when you told me it was actually going to be like this like dark, what is the word, grungy movie? Grungy movie. I was like, oh wait, Josh's top 10 isn't going to be funny.
No,
it's going to be it's going to ruin my life. And that's when I'm gonna watch the Barney movie, and I'm gonna think they did a good job with this, and that's when I know that I've
This
been
is
lost.
how I feel about the Barney movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's
The
what I'm saying.
Existential dread. It explained how I feel because this movie exists.
Let me tell you, I don't know how much you can do because I know this is gonna happen. I know it. Barbie was number 1. That was the first domino to fall. Arthur's coming next. I've got to save it before it becomes too late. Somebody that I trust, myself, needs to be the one to start that domino to fall, knowing full well that it's going to happen by somebody.
I don't know. People don't know. You had an idea for an Arthur the college years.
I've created a series of Arthur's college years, the relationships between the characters, what's going on, the backstory of everybody as they got older. I have it all written out. I even have a secret Instagram page where I'm going to post the clips of the stories like that people can read just to try and save I haven't posted it anywhere.
Okay.
I don't know if no one's going to be able to find it. I have stuff in the works.
Okay.
So
all right, this
has
been a multi-year process.
It has. It has. I don't want to do it. I truly don't want to do it, but I know I have to do it.
Yeah. It's your cross to bear.
It is.
All right. Guys, this week, I'm the one with the conspiracy theory.
Yes, I'm excited
And
about
I've
it.
come with receipts.
I love the intro to the conspiracy theory.
Thank you. The FDA gave approval to genetically modify mosquitoes that will combat the Zika virus.
What is that?
The Zika virus can cause a baby's head to be unusually small, or maybe differently sized would be a more appropriate way to say that.
No.
It can also cause a neurological disease that may progress to paralysis and death. Okay, you remember where there was the Zika virus scare? Back in the day when you didn't have to worry when they were like, hey, there's a new virus.
Yeah,
You
that
just
was
kind
the
of
Zika
ignore
virus.
it for a week and then it
It's
went
gone.
away.
That was the Zika virus.
That was the Zika virus.
Oh, okay.
It was a big deal down in Florida because it gets so hot down there and the
that's
mosquitoes
true.
all over the place. So what they want to do, I guess this company called Oxitec is planning to release these genetically modified male mosquitoes into the wild to partner with the wild female ones, just absolutely wild female mosquito women. The genetically modified mosquitoes are expected to pass on genes that are fatal to the next generation of infected mosquitoes, thereby trimming down their population.
So they're trying to kill the mosquitoes.
They're trying to kill the mosquitoes because they spread this Zika virus. But they're going to just unleash.
But those mosquitoes are going to bite us, the genetically modified ones.
Right, but they say, no, there's going to be no environmental impact to this.
Oh.
It's going to be fine. Okay.
Here's my question. What if we find out that mosquitoes are actually the good guys? Maybe they're doing something for us that we don't understand. And we're like, if we could just kill all mosquitoes, all of our problems would go away.
What would they be doing?
I don't know. But they're here.
Right.
There's a balance to everything.
Right.
So maybe in some weird way they have a benefit that we don't. And to us, it's like, well, we die. Humans die.
I mean, do mosquitoes eat anything other than just sucking blood?
I don't know. But maybe, I don't know.
Jordan, I'm uncomfortable with genetically modified insects or animals or creatures of any kind just being pushed out onto us.
Oh, well, Josh, I am too, especially these things because they're just little needles. Who knows? What are they injecting in the mosquitoes?
That's what I'm saying,
They're going to
dude.
give us all the...
You know what it reminded me of, Jordan? That tick with the little white dot on it?
Deer ticks.
That makes you allergic to meat.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of this? Jordan, some 450,000 people in the U.S. may unknowingly have a tick-borne condition that causes a red meat allergy. Have you? So they say this is happening a lot now, but they're like, well, it might just be because we're trying to track it now. Who benefits if we're?
If we gotta eat Beyond Meat, Impossible Burgers. I found a book called Bitten, I think. And it's all about the conspiracy of Lyme disease and where it was released from and what they were doing. Have I read it?
CIA?
No. JFK. No, I don't know. I haven't read it. But I have the book on the shelf. So it's just, it's imparting knowledge to me.
Read it and we'll talk about it.
Okay, I will.
Did you know that a Bill Gates-backed lab-grown meat company just received USDA approval?
I did. I heard of that.
Isn't that exciting?
It is. You know why? Because they're going to destroy themselves. Everybody's talking about it. Like my neighbors are all like, so this genetically modified meat, like, so are we all going to just buy cows from the farmer down the street? And we're like, yeah. So we're all like going to go in.
That's what a lot of people do now. They just buy the cow.
That's going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
That's going to happen a whole lot.
I'm just saying there's something weird about you have these insects. They're genetically modifying them, and then you already have ones out there that are like randomly making people allergic to meat.
Were those genetically modified, the tick bites? They don't know, but they
don't know.
say?
No,
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know where these where are these ticks
weird.
coming from. We don't know. All I do know is that you have all the rich billionaire types, the Bill Gates types that are like, oh look. We've got a much more sustainable meat option now. And look, you're all going to be allergic to meat soon anyways. We're going to come in and be the saviors. Now, guys, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist about this, though, even though that is the name of this segment. Because while high-profile investors are embracing this new technology, traditional agriculture remains relevant. And this is the example they gave in the article. For instance, Gates has made significant investments in the agricultural sector. Isn't he so nice? According to the 2022 Land Report, Gates owns around 275,000 acres of farmland. Okay, so when he's not creating meat alternatives, he's buying all the farmland. And the ticks are making us allergic to red meat.
Maybe he's releasing the ticks in his farmland and doing experiments and seeing and then releasing it from there. And he can't be traced. I don't like the mosquitoes either, Josh. But maybe the mosquitoes are here for a reason.
Well, I'll think about that every time I get bit by one. Well, I'm sure you serve some kind of purpose to give me a disease. All right, Jordan, you ready for Rank You Very Much?
Yeah.
Here we go. Today on the show, we just wanted to rank our 5 favorite bands of all time. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys one song that you should check out from each of these bands. And I tried, at least with mine, to pick ones that I thought, even if you don't like the type of music this band does, I think you like this song. And so we'll put a link to a Spotify playlist with all the songs. And I don't know Jordan's. Jordan doesn't know mine.
Are we going to do your... Are these in order?
No, I didn't rank mine.
Well, okay, so I'm going to... Can I guess yours? Can I at least guess one?
Sure.
Okay, I will guess Jonah Folsom.
No, I tried to keep more. I know that you have at least like one artist on yours. I tried to just do bands, but I would have probably picked Jonah. I would have picked Jonah.
I didn't realize we were doing bands.
That's okay. It's okay.
I don't listen to bands. I listen to artists.
Can I guess one of your artists?
Yeah.
Jimmy Eat World.
That's who I forgot.
You really didn't put Jimmy Eat World on your list?
I haven't listened to them much recently.
We just put out a Blimey Cow Clips video.
We did.
Calling it your favorite band.
We did. But here the problem, I go through phases. And Josh said, did you pick out the Rank You Very Much? And I said, oh, I forgot to do that. And so then I was sitting here urgently trying to come up with my list. And I've been listening to what I've been listening to while I've been doing the Doghouse.
Okay.
The Underground Doghouse, which we haven't updated in a while. Oh, then not going great, by the way.
Is it really not?
I'm stumped, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
I can't believe I didn't put Jimmy Eat World. That was the biggest stupid.
All
But
right.
also, I didn't put Jimmy Eat World because I've already talked about them on here.
Okay. Go ahead and just share one of yours,
okay.
and we won't guess because
It's
this
taking
could be a
too long.
disaster.
Yeah. Casey Musgraves, Love is a Wild Thing.
Oh, that's a good song. I know that one.
I'm trying to find songs that people could listen to and
Yeah.
they would like.
Yeah.
I think you need to listen to that entire CD as a whole from start to finish because
Right.
it's a whole story. So if you're into that, do that. But if you just listen to one song, listen to Love is a Wild Thing.
Jordan had this CD playing constantly when we were working on the playground last year. Good stuff.
Anytime I'm working outside, I have that CD on. Literally.
All right. My first band is This Day and Age, and the song I recommend is More of a Climb, Less of a Walk.
Casually you're walking through the sunless sky, yet so naively.
I also have This Day and Age. We always rewind the best part.
If you go, I'll wait.
Yeah, that's a good song. All right, so we're going to have two This Day and Age songs on the
I
on the
figured you were
playlist.
going to have them.
This Day and Age is just like
They-
pop, emo, rock.
Yes, but
They only put out 2 CDs, and they were both very good.
and they were
So you've got a song from their first CD, and I've got one from the second CD.
yeah, I would say they like, you know how Copeland, they were kind of that start of, like Emery, wait, we can do music that's like more calm. And
Yeah.
so then the guys with the good voices start coming out
Yeah.
who aren't just screaming.
Yeah.
But Emery did scream with their music, but it was all because, I'm assuming, I don't know, Copeland kind of came first, I think, right?
Yeah.
They had to have inspired. I think I actually listened to all them podcasts that they were
Copeland
inspired by them.
inspired so many bands.
I'm sure it inspired This Day and Age as well.
Yeah.
But then the Jeff Martins from This Day and Age came out like, oh wait, I can actually like sing.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna make a song like what these guys are kind of doing.
Yeah. Speaking of Copeland is my next pick.
You're freaking me out.
I went with the song Control Freak from their third CD, Eat, Sleep, Repeat.
You think that would be a song that people out there would
You're freaking me out.
look? I like that song.
You're freaking me
I can't decide if people
Can you
would
think
think
of
that that's
another-
like an odd one because he says you're freaking me out 50,000 times.
Well, it's a song about not being able to sleep.
Don't talk about that. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. We're about to find out how superstitious Jordan is. What's a Copeland song that you would pick?
Yeah, you have my attention.
You have my attention.
That was the other
If
one.
I
was
had
gonna
to get
pick.
somebody to listen to one song, it might be that. Maybe.
Okay. All right. I think we're going to put You Have My Attention on the list, and we're going to put some Jimmy Eat World on the list, too.
Yeah. I have Matt Carney
Oh, yeah.
off of his newest CD, which,
He still makes music?
dude, he is only getting better.
Really?
I kid you
After
not.
all these years.
It is, his newest CD that he put out is objectively the best thing that he has ever released. Ever.
I'll check it
Every
out.
single
I'll
song
check it
is
out.
good.
I'll check it out.
And normally with his music, I listen to like 3 or 4 songs. This one, sequential. Listen from start to finish every day.
Okay.
It's so good. But
What song do you recommend?
Say It Now has a great chorus.
I keep staring at 3 dots on my phone. Wanna know your thoughts before they're gone.
I
Great
would
banger.
suggest Say It Now first, but if you really have never heard Matt Carney, listen to Anywhere With You.
Okay. All right.
Off of January Flowers. I think it's the CD name that's his new CD.
Okay. I'm excited to make this Spotify playlist. I'm going to listen to these songs. I'm guessing most people watching this are aware of the band Reliant K.
Yeah, what did you, song.
If not, I went with I Don't Need a Soul.
Cause if this was our destiny, I'd treasure the fact, and I'd give you what's left of me if I'd held back.
You're doing songs that I thought, oh, of course I should have done from that CD. But
Oh, did you
again,
do Relient K as
yeah,
well?
but I did Who I Am, Hates Who I've Been.
Oh, another that's probably a better pick.
Every time that song comes on, it's like,
I
well,
watched
I'm
the
gonna
proverbial sunrise.
yeah, it's like, well, I've got 25 minutes. Let's just put on the whole CD.
Yeah.
But when I listen to like I Don't Need a Soul or Forget Not Slow Down, I don't think I want to listen to this entire CD. But when I hear Who I Am, Hates Who I've Been, I'm like, all right, let's start it from
Because
the beginning.
that song just takes you back to a very specific time in your life where you listen to that whole CD all the way through. Man,
Yeah, exactly, because it was a CD.
yeah, that's true.
So we just listened to it in the car.
Jordan, did you put As Cities Burn on your list?
I
as
did.
well?
What song did you put on?
I went with Our World Is Gray.
So did I.
No way!
Sarah doesn't like that kind of music.
Yeah.
And I remember we were in the car at Trevecca one day and we were about to leave and it was, I think, raining in the car and we're commuters. So we're like, okay, see you. And she's about to get in her car. But I turned on Acid East Burn to be like, maybe she'll like this music. And I was like, if I had to think of one song, I put on Our World Is Gray and she didn't hate it.
Yep.
She liked that song and she said, this is Acid East Burn. And I thought, okay, I've broken through a little bit. So that's why I put this on the list.
Yeah. I was thinking, what is a song that doesn't have a lot of screaming, but that still has that like that
Emotion
power and
within the power,
emotion to
yeah.
it? And I
It
think
was
the
Our World Is
lyric,
Gray.
I think the lyrics to Our World Is Gray are some of the best they've ever done. They only have put out 4 albums, and they're all fantastic. Even Hell or High Water. Okay,
I haven't listened to it. I'm going to be honest. I haven't listened to the whole CD.
put it on. You'll like it.
I really
you'll like
should.
it.
I feel guilty. I haven't.
With no expectation, I think you'll be able to enjoy it.
Well, I put on their new CD, Scream Through the Walls.
Yeah.
And that CD's really good.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
That song's really good.
Oh, you're done? Oh, okay. Well, I've only got
I
one
went
more.
first.
Okay. Last one for me is House of Heroes. I talked about recently on the podcast. They've put out probably 5 or 6, but they're not an active band anymore. And I really like their song Journey into Space Part 1. But that entire CD is really
I don't even
good.
know if I've heard that song. Is that on their old
It's
CDs?
the
or no?
Let Them Come For Us.
If we had to decide what Jimmy Eat World song, what would it be?
I
For
mean,
for
everybody
somebody-
knows the middle
Don't play that song.
or Sweetness.
Don't. Those songs.
I would
don't.
pick. I would pick.
Those songs
one.
aren't even good. I mean, they're good, but it's not. Those songs do not represent them at all.
I would put on Delivery.
I can only use what I learned from you.
Good lyrics that
Yeah.
show that he can write a good song, he write a catchy melody, and like it's always kind of like sort of pensive, sad, but like encouraging. There you go.
Good. I feel like I'm excited for this playlist myself.
Me too. This is gonna be fun. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. What gave you hope this week, my man?
Well, I made a video about this recently, but I gave myself hope in the sense that you know how much I love cycling. And if people have watched my video, they already have heard this, but I'll say it again. I've always had this obsession with cycling that I've always felt guilty for because cycling is a selfish sport. It truly is. You do it alone. It takes a long, long, long time during the day, and you get tired afterwards. It's not like I'm going to go out and shoot some hoops for an hour. It's like your whole life starts to revolve around this. Your sleeping habits, your eating habits, you're eating way more. You're alone a lot of the day, and that's what you have to do to become the best or to become extremely good. So I've always had a bad relationship with that because I love doing it, but I realize the downsides of it, and I'm not willing to dedicate my life to that, even though that's some people's choice. And you know, that's what they do and they make money from it, but I don't want to. So I finally figured out a way to do cycling without the guilt of doing it. Instead of like my goal being I want to be the best. Of what? What does that even mean? Like of the neighborhood? It's
The
so
best
childish.
of the bike.
It makes no sense. So my goal now is to think of cycling in terms of the other things that I do. Like I want to be able to do, 14 pull-ups whenever I want to. That's my goal. I don't have like I'm not necessarily training for anything. I'm not like competing with anybody. But I want to be able to do 3 sets of 20 push-ups anytime I want to. I want to be able to do 20 leg raises. Like these are just like these benchmarks. I want to be able to hold a bar for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
hang from a bar for 2 minutes. I have like specific goals, like attainable goals that I can hold on to for a long time. With cycling, I never had that. And I thought, well, what? Because cycling is so arbitrary. It's like, what does it mean? How do you measure it? You're just fast or you're slow, and you can get faster or slower. So I was like, well,
So what'd you decide?
what I'm doing is thinking of it in terms of like weightlifting. I want to be able to put out a certain amount of watts on my bike per my body weight, which so like if I weigh a certain amount, it's a ratio between watts and body weight. And right now mine is pretty low. It's 1.9 watts per kilo. Like an elite athlete, that would be like 7 watts per kilo. And these number goes up pretty slowly. So the difference between 2 and 7 is like astronomical. This is not easy to do. If you're in shape and your cardiovascular system is strong, and you're developed leg muscles enough to do this, you should be able to do 3 to 3.5 or 4. I would say between 3 and 3.5 to be able to enter a low grade race and be able to not be completely dying. You'd be able to hang on. I feel like that's a good benchmark to be able to sustain that, to be like, I have good cardiovascular health. 3 watts per kilo. That's an attainable goal. That's something that's not that hard to be able to continue doing with not as much training. If you just keep up with it. So that's kind of my... It gave me hope was that I came up with this. And it has given me some kind of peace in my mind.
You've got like a machine when you ride that kind of lets you know how much output, how much power you're putting out?
My pedals have a function on it that tell me how many watts I'm putting out.
When it says how many watts you're putting out, like, does that actually mean that, like, if you were on a bike that was pedaling and could actually generate electricity, that
if you hooked it up, it would generate electricity. It's the exact same. It's the same measurement as a light bulb.
It gave me hope this week. I was thinking about how it kind of, when we had our first child, when we had Isaac, it was nice that we could spend so much time with him. And it made me sad when we had our second child to think, you know what? Elliot is never going to get as much attention from his mom and dad as Isaac did, because now we are keeping up with 2 kids. And with our third child, I was thinking that it gets, with each child you have, it gets a little bit worse because your attention is going to be more divided between your kids. And that made me sad for a while, until the other day when I realized, you know what? Each one of your children that you have, sure, your attention is more divided, but they have more built-in people that love them than the last kid did. So our new baby has double the amount of people in our household that cherishes them as Isaac did when he was little. And that was just encouraging to me. It really makes sense how different kid, like if you're the firstborn or the middle kid or the youngest, how your experience in life is different. I'm realizing just from watching my kids, just even from a young age, how those dynamics can really affect how you grow up and the way you think about things and stuff like that. So it's just been very interesting, and I was grateful to have that, because that really did make me sad. It's like there's so many times where Elliot is like, Daddy, come here. And I'm like, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm already told Isaac I'm in the middle of something with him. And I was like, man, I never had to do that with Isaac. Not one time. It was like if Isaac was like, Daddy, let's go do something, I was like, let's go do it right now. You know what I mean? I can do work later. But when you make a commitment to one kid already, it's tough to say, hey, sorry, so it's just tough. But Elliot can play with Isaac in a way that we can't play with Isaac. Like they're just on a different level together. And they just moved into this. I don't even think I've told you this.
You did.
Oh, I did. They moved into the same room together. And Isaac has been such a great big brother helping Elliot, because this is the first time he's slept not in a crib. So he moved into a room with his brother and moved into a toddler bed at the same time. 3 days, crushed it.
Really?
Done. Wow. Like they sleep through the night. The last night was the second night they've slept through the entire night.
I wonder if that'll actually make Isaac not be so wake up all the time. Like if he is waking up, maybe that would help to know somebody's in the room with him.
Lately, I mean, they've both slept well lately, and so it was a good time to get them to do that, because they were both already sleeping pretty well. So it kind of worked perfectly. Kelly and I were really, honestly, very relieved, because we thought it was going to be like a multi-week process, but it took like 3 nights and it was done.
Wow.
So there you go. It gave me hope, and it gave me sleep. recommend? Jordan, what do you recommend this week, my man?
You tell me if I've already recommended this, but I wanted to recommend Flamme Rouge. Have I recommended this already?
No,
that's
I mean,
shocking.
in general, in life, we've recommended this game before, but not on the show.
Well, there's a cycling board game called Flamme Rouge, and there are many cycling board games we've found out, but this one is, I don't know if it's the best one. I think it is,
It's definitely the
okay.
best cycling game. Yeah,
It's very, very, very fun, and I would highly suggest it. Even if you don't cycle, if you don't do anything, if you're not interested in that, the game's dynamics are very unique and very, very, very fun.
Yeah.
It's got a physical board that you move your cycling characters down as you decide how many movements they have, and the other cyclists that are behind the original cyclist can draft
up,
off of, and so their cards might be worth more if they're like a certain amount of squares behind. They can move up the board. So it's this whole game. Everybody has the exact same cards. You just play them at different times given the terrain. It's very fun. I would highly suggest it.
There's luck in that you draw your cards, but everybody has the same cards at the start of the game, so it really becomes like, okay, what's the probability?
If you're good at the game, it doesn't matter. And that's the beauty of the game, is everybody can have fun, because it's very fun for people who are playing new people, because they have to outsmart them. Even though they're better at the game, there's still luck involved, and so they have to play way better than that person still to win.
It's a great game, and they've put out some expansions too, and the new one, Jordan, is supposed to be still coming out later this year. My favorite board games of all time are the ones that you like to play, because
we're able to play them
I
together.
like playing games with you, yeah. And Kelly likes most of them too, so any game I can play with all of you guys is really fun.
We haven't played that game in so long.
has been a
we
while.
used to play that when Isaac was first born. We used to play that every time I'd come over, and so Josh would have Isaac like in the little holder thing, and we would be playing. That's why I remember that so much. But I love that game so much. When I got injured, I actually crashed on my bike a while back, and I didn't have much to do.
Oh yeah.
So I painted my
okay.
characters.
I thought you were gonna say that's when you coded your version of the
No,
game.
I'm actually thinking about still working on that.
You should. Jordan was working on like a
I have the artwork
game version, yeah.
I have the artwork.
There's no way to play it online. This is the first time on the We Recommend section that I've recommended a food. I recommend
I'm going to do this next week.
spaghetti squash.
Really?
I love spaghetti squash.
Dude.
You will never eat noodles again.
No, they really. You're so right. And they're better. They really are better than noodles.
And the texture is better. It doesn't feel so heavy when you eat them. You can eat a ton. I mean, you can eat just like a ton of this, like a huge bowl.
Doesn't matter.
But no, spaghetti squash, you get an Instant Pot. You cut it in half. You scoop out the seeds. You put it in the Instant Pot for like 20 minutes.
Give the seeds to the chickens.
Give the seeds to the chickens.
They go nuts.
And then you pull it out after 20 minutes or so. And then you just scoop out, and it gets all stringy. And that's why they call it spaghetti squash, because it's like a spaghetti.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
We planted some in our garden.
Yeah?
You remember that?
Yeah. That's
got
right.
Like 40, 50. I mean,
Really?
And they cure or whatever. So we had them in the basement. They lasted for like a year and a half.
They'll last forever. I want to grow some.
Those are easy to grow.
Jordan, next, Kelly and I were talking about this yesterday. We would love to grow tomatoes. A spaghetti squash would be nice. Cucumbers would be cool.
How much shade does this little area, this flat area right
Not
here
much,
get?
bro.
It doesn't get much shade?
No.
You can just do it right there, but that's your only flat area. So
That's
kind
fine.
of
We don't use it. We all go down to the playground to play,
You should do it right there. That's exactly where you should do it.
All right. Well, that's where we planted the tomato plant that Dad gave us.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked great.
Oh, there you go. That's a lot of space. You could have a great thing right there. You can even do raised beds right there.
Be easy too, because it's already like kind of a fenced little area, and then all right, you guys don't care about all this. But it is a great place right out there, right out that window right there. That's where we're gonna do it. Okay?
I honestly forgot we were doing the podcast when we were talking about that. I forgot it was on.
Well, and now the podcast is over.
Goodbye.